Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kira, and if you're not, hey guy, hey girl, how you doing? It's been a minute since I've actually done like a sit down video. I feel like it's just been forever, but we're back again today because we have something really good and fun to talk about. So this video is actually gonna be a little, I don't want to say fun and exciting like topics, but it is back to school season, and I know a lot of you are going into college or have already been in college, or y'all could even be out of college. But this video is tailored specifically for my guys and girls that are going into college freshman year. And it's crazy, but like it's gonna be a good time, I promise you guys. I am a senior in college this year, this upcoming fall semester. So I know a little bit about what it means to be a freshman in college. So I just put together like a list of about 15 things that I wish I knew, or that I felt was something that I learned once I got to college. So I hope this helps you guys out, and let's get into the video. So my first tip for college freshmen is don't splurge on school supplies. Literally, you will find that you don't need as much as you think you'll need when it comes to going into college. Like for me personally, I was always a kid that in high school I had to buy like school supplies like every single summer. But you don't need that when you go into college. You actually, honestly, you might need like a couple of notebooks, a couple of folders, and then pens and pencils and highlighters. That's literally it. You don't need anything else, all the extra stationery, unless you're that type of person who likes to splurge on that stuff and you don't care, you don't mind, and you're gonna do it anyway. Do that, but you don't have to. It's not a necessity. Just like get the amount of stuff that you need for your classes that fall semester, or even like for the whole entire year, but you don't have to go crazy and like rack up a whole entire bill for things that you just won't end up using. My next tip is wait until the first week of class, or like whenever the syllabus drops at the end of the summer, to like figure out if you need to actually buy the textbook. I know like in other videos you guys may hear that you don't actually like need to buy the textbook, but you never know. There are some teachers that are like heavy on the you're gonna use the textbook, and there are teachers that may provide it with like a PDF or something. I've had teachers do both. I've had teachers literally not even, they have a textbook but they don't even like use it or reference it. They just say you can use it as an extra source. So just pay attention to that, I would say, throughout the first week of class, if they're actually really heavy on the textbook, because if not, then you would have bought it for nothing. So just wait until the first week or until the syllabus drops to go out there and like actually buy the textbooks and the books that you're gonna need for class. My third tip is going along with the textbooks. You don't buy from the expensive school bookstores, everything like that. Literally, what I do is I go onto Amazon and I try to see if I can find like the exact textbook that I need and for the best deal that I can find, and I rent them. If it's not a book that I'm gonna use later on and it's just like a class, like a gen ed or prerequisite, whatever, that I just need for that moment in time, I'm not gonna go and spend $200 on a book that I'm gonna use once and then I'm just gonna have. I would rather spend like $15, $17, $20 renting the book, and then I can get rid of it. I can give it back at the end of the semester, and I don't have like a collection of books that I really just didn't need that are worth so much money and that I actually spent the money on and I didn't need them. Along with buying textbooks, this is my next tip number 5 or 4. Is put reminders, whether it's on your calendar, on your phone, whatever, about when the books are due. Like slap it on top of the book, whatever you gotta do, put a reminder that the book is due soon. Because the worst thing is that you end up renting the book and then you completely forget about it after the semester is over, and then next thing you know is you end up getting this bill in the mail or on your account, and you're like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? And they ended up billing you for the entire book. Like, you actually ended up buying the book because you didn't return it in time. That's the worst thing, because now you have a book that you're not gonna use and you don't know what to do with. So my top thing with renting books is to make sure you put a reminder about when those books are actually due. Tip number 5. This tip, I would say, is literally, I feel like it's one of the most important tips about being a college freshman. And it's something that I had to learn, is that literally take your classes seriously early on. I kid you not. It's gonna benefit you in the long run. I know sometimes it's like we go to college and it's like, oh my gosh, it's college, I'm free, da da da, you know, whatever. No, like literally, yes, all that, but take your classes seriously. I've heard so many stories about people slacking off their first and second semester of college, and then they end up with these terrible GPAs that they have to spend the next 3 years building back up, when they could have just come in straight, like into college, and done what they needed to do, had a good GPA, and then kept building off of that or maintaining it throughout the 4 years. It's easier to maintain a GPA than it is to like tank it and then try to build back up again. So take it really, really seriously early on, and that's something I would say to anybody entering college. Just take your classes very seriously. My next tip, going along with classes, I think this is like tip number 6 or something, is to write down when things are due. If you don't do that, then you're gonna be all over the place. I feel like writing down due dates of assignments, when tests are, special events that may be going on during campus or something like that, that is gonna help you out, because then you can plan your schedule accordingly, instead of having something due, a paper due the next day, and you totally forgot about it, and now you have to spend that whole night before it's due writing something that you could have known was coming up, instead of being blindsided by it, because that's the worst feeling, the anxiety, and your teacher may or may not accept it if it's late. So just don't play with yourself. Plan out things accordingly. If you have a planner, if you're one of those planner peoples, stick to that. I promise you, it is a good skill to have and to keep throughout college. But if you're not, at least get a calendar in which you write down the important dates that, you know, tests and assignments are, or papers, so that you know that they're coming and to be prepared and ready for them. Tip number 7 is to contact your roommates ahead of time. If you can. Sometimes it's really hard to contact roommates, but if you can contact your roommates ahead of time, that's gonna help you guys out, because then you can have a conversation about whether or not you actually need certain things or who has what, so that you're not buying duplicates. And then also you can decide like what your decor might be. Are you guys going with a certain type of theme to your room, or is it gonna be like, you know, just decorate the way you want to decorate? I don't really care. I think contacting your roommate ahead of time, if you can, is gonna be something good, because you don't want it to be like you both bought 2 mini fridges and like 2 microwaves or whatever the case is. Like, just make sure that if you can get that contact, get that contact. My tip number 8 is to make your room homey, but don't overdo it. It's very easy for some people, especially freshmen, to overdo it when it comes to decorating their room and bringing items that, you know, go into room decor and everything like that. Now, if that is something that you want to do, again, this is totally up to you guys. If that is something you want to do, then you do whatever you want, because it is your room. Me, I essentially figured I didn't need to overdo it, because yes, it is a home away from home, but at the same time, you don't need to make it into a whole entire bedroom. Like, literally some paintings or posters or little knickknacks here and there, cute blankets, comforter set, whatever, that will make it look really nice for you. But you don't have to like put furniture and all this extra like don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. You're only there for so long. Don't overdo it, and you'll be just fine. One of my next tips has to be literally one of the hardest things that I had to learn going into college was that don't overpack. You don't need to overpack, especially if you live within an hour, 2 hours, hell, even 30 minutes, from home. You don't need to overpack. Don't bring everything in your closet for one semester. Literally what I did was I brought clothes that finished out like the rest of summer and into the beginning of fall. And then for my fall break, I came back home and I swapped out more fall clothes. And then when I went back for Thanksgiving break, I brought all my winter clothes I needed and my boots and my shoes and everything and my jackets. And then I came back home for Christmas break and that was it. And then I did it again for winter going into spring. You don't need to bring your whole closet at once because that takes up so much unnecessary space, and it's a college dorm. Where are you really putting all that stuff? So don't overpack, don't overdo it. You can always go home and get your stuff. Unless you live out of the country, then that's a different story. You guys do you. I don't have a reference for that, a frame of reference. But if you live literally so close to where you can drive home on a weekend, don't bring all your stuff. So the 10th thing that I learned being a freshman in college is that the freshman 15 is a real thing. Don't think it's not. Don't think you're immune to it. You're not gonna it's not gonna happen to you. Be very aware that it can happen, that it is actually a real thing. Now, everybody's bodies are different. Some people gain weight more easily. Some people lose weight a lot easier. It really just depends on you. For me, I ended up gaining weight when I went away to college my first semester because I literally would go out and have food, or, I come back into my dorm and eat my food, or I would grab food before I went to class and then come home. I did do physical activity. I did join my dance team at the school. However, I still ended up gaining weight throughout the whole semester. So just be mindful, make healthier decisions. I think that was my biggest thing, is that I was so wrapped up in all the different food choices at the cafe or at the cafeteria that I did not make the healthier choices that I needed as often as I should have. So just keep that in mind and stay active, because it's gonna really help you if that is not what you're looking for, is to gain that extra weight. But if you are, do you. This is all totally up to you guys and your bodies. Do what is right for you, but I just wanted to let you know that it is a real thing. It actually happens. So tip number 11 is don't get caught up in hookup culture. Hookup culture is a real thing in college. People are literally just there sometimes to have a good time, and that's not a problem. If that's something that you like to do, that's absolutely not a problem. But don't get caught up in it to where it becomes a negative distraction for you and that it affects the way you're performing in college. We're actually there in college to get that degree. So don't let it negatively affect you. Don't get caught up in it in a bad way. Have your fun, but just be mindful that you're also there for another reason, and don't let anyone or anything get you in a place where it negatively affects you physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. Keep yourself grounded the way you need to be grounded, and don't worry about everybody else. All right. Tip number 12 is to get involved early. I think that's really important because as freshmen, you don't know anyone. You're coming into this environment, unless you're going to school with people that you've been friends with for a long time. You basically don't know anyone, and there's new people to meet every single day, everywhere you turn when you go to college. And so getting involved is something that's really gonna help you expand your horizon, expand your groups and your circles, network, and just have fun, honestly, because you're gonna be able to join, clubs, organizations, You know, you're gonna be able to go to the different events that are gonna be around your campus. And all those help you as a college student just to grow and to, you know, just experience new things. So definitely get involved early. That is one tip that I say is really important, because then you have something to look forward to, something that you're actually doing other than school at college. Tip number 13 is to get out of the room. I know for me, I am such a homebody sometimes. I'm just like, I could really just get some food and just lay up in my bed, and you won't see me for the rest of the afternoon, the rest of the day. But it is so important, like while you're at school, to actually get out of your room, go study at the library, go study in a classroom building, whatever. You know, go to the events. If you see that they're having some cool events around your campus, go to them. You get to meet new people, and it's also just like you're not cooped up in your room, because sometimes that can do something to, you know, your mental health, just being in your room all the time. So explore your campus, go to the events, just literally sit somewhere else and do your work. It's that easy to just leave the room, honestly. So my tip number 14 is it's time to be independent. I don't know how much that is a tip rather than like what's actually going on, but you know, you have to start being independent. You're your own person, and you're gonna start being like, okay, I need to take care of me. And what does that look like? You know, whether you're actually going off to campus, off to college, whatever, like literally 30 minutes away, 2 hours away, across the country, or even if you're staying at home but you still have to go to campus, you know, to go to your classes, whatever, you're independent now. It's like you're, how old? Like I would say like 18 to 22, 23, whatever. You gotta learn to be independent. You gotta learn to take accountability for whatever you've done or what you haven't done. You gotta be responsible in your time, how you're spending it, you know, what you're doing. It's just, no one's gonna tell you what to do because you're treated as an adult. You have to be the one in charge of what your college is going to look like, what your college experience is gonna look like. No one's gonna tell you, hey, you know, you gotta do this, you gotta do your homework, because if not, then you're gonna get a bad grade. Or no one's gonna tell you, hey, like, you probably shouldn't, I don't know, whatever. But you have to make those decisions for yourself, because no one else is really going to make these decisions for you. There are going to be people that help you along the way, but ultimately, you're still the adult in the situation. You're still in charge of your education and your college experience. So take advantage of that and just be independent, but in a good way, a responsible way. And last but not least, my tip number 15, and that is to literally have fun. Like, you're in college now, you're a college student. Don't let the stress of college get you down. Don't let it overwhelm you. Literally make time to have fun for yourself, whether that's just being by yourself or that's going out with your friends. Whatever it is, have fun. You're only in college for so long, and you're only young for so long. So make the most of it. Yeah, you can make stupid mistakes. We all make stupid mistakes. Own up to them and keep it pushing, you know? It's a time to be alive. I know I'm sounding so corny right now. I'm like cringing at myself. But honestly, just make the most of it, because college could be a really great time for a lot of people. And it's something that you can really look back on and say, wow, like, that was my college experience, you know? But all that to say, freshman year, there's really nothing to sweat about too much. Freshman year is a lot of fun, but something to take seriously as well. And yeah, to all my incoming freshmen, literally have a great time at college. You know, you got this. It's gonna be great, nothing to worry about. And it's gonna be over before you know it. Honestly, I feel like I was just a freshman 2 seconds ago, but that was also when COVID hit. But we're not gonna talk about that. So have a great time, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. Like, let me know if you guys liked it. If you guys have any other tips for incoming freshmen, or something that you found out as a freshman yourself and you want to share to any fellow freshmen, drop it down below. Help everyone out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. There's more back to school stuff coming and I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Come here, I want to show you something.